So I don't know about the rest of you, but after keeping track of the news this week, the idea of a sanctuary on Friday night seemed like a pretty good one. I mean, we get news every week. It's not like this new news cycle is that much different, unfortunately, but I mean, to open up the pages and read about a Jew being responsible for hate crimes against Jews, not to mention the news of London, I think we were all in need of a place to get away from it all. But as our Torah portion this week teaches, a sanctuary actually is not a place to get away from that which is troubling us. It is a place to bring ourselves, a place to bring, as our Torah teaches, wisdom of the heart, which is an interesting term. We actually get two Torah portions for the price of one this week. We get Parshat Vayakhel and Parshat Pikudei. And in these parshiot, our ancestors build the Mishkan, a portable sanctuary to accompany them in their journeys through the wilderness. It starts when Moses asked the Israelites to bring gifts in the fashion that their hearts move them. And once these gifts are in hand, men and women of skill complete the construction of a sanctuary using what our Torah calls chokhmat lev, wisdom of the heart. Well, what does that mean? Wisdom of the heart. What did it mean for our ancestors to possess chokhmat lev? If we listen to our modern biblical scholars, the word lev, or heart, actually refers to the mind. Professors in biblical studies suggest that our ancestors believed the heart, much like our human brains, contained the seeds for our thoughts, feelings, and sensibilities. Wisdom of the heart, then, would simply refer to plain old wisdom, that special combination of skill, insight, and care, as well as planning and intent. But our sages were not content to simply chalk up the words of Torah to a biological error. And in fact, I think they have a point in this case, as the Torah itself draws a distinction between chokhmat lev, wisdom of the heart on one hand, and chokhmah, plain old wisdom, on the other. In fact, both are mentioned in this week's parsha, and both are used in very different ways. Chokhmah, wisdom, speaks to the capacity of someone to perform a task. Those who possessed the ability to create works of beauty possessed wisdom. This ability, this chokhmah, gave several of our ancestors the ability to fashion magnificent pieces of art and architecture for the Mishkan. Chokhmat lev, however, seems to be reserved not for people with the ability. It's okay. It's cool. Sometimes that's exactly what you need right now. It's all good. So chokhmat lev is a term that's reserved not just for ability to create magnificent works, but actually for those people who use their ability to create magnificent works for a divine purpose, for a godly intent. And so the skilled men and women who put their unique talents in the service of building the divine sanctuary, our Torah teaches, those are the people who possess chokhmat lev, wisdom of the heart. We'll try and make this easier for those of you. Did anybody here remember your high school math? I got one hand. Okay, so a couple people. Thank you. Chokhmah, plain old wisdom, is a magnitude. It's a directionless quantity whose enormity doesn't actually serve any purpose. Only by providing direction to that magnitude do we come up with what we call in math a vector. Something with magnitude and direction. And thus, by giving chokhmah direction for a godly purpose, we find chokhmat lev, wisdom of the heart. Now, in order to complete this Mishkan, our Torah teaches, we needed some raw materials. And so our ancestors brought a collection of gifts. They brought silver and gold, and they brought blue yarn and purple yarn and crimson yarn, all sorts of other stuff. But according to our sages, the sacred offerings brought by our forebears were actually not their wealth nor their handiwork. It was themselves. You see, our sages noticed that each of the gifts that the Israelites were told to bring to build this tabernacle, to build this sacred sanctuary, gold and silver, blue and purple and crimson yarn, are actually used in the Bible as metaphors for the people of Israel. According to the Psalms, silver and gold adorn the wings of the people of Israel, while purple adorns the robes of Judah, the namesake of our people. In the meantime, the prophet Isaiah calls the people of Israel a scarlet people, while the Israelites, during their journeys in the wilderness, are actually commanded to put a blue thread on the end of their robes. Now, I don't have that blue thread because it's hard to replicate in this day and age, although they're doing it in Israel now. But gold, silver, purple, blue, crimson, scarlet, according to our sages, are not simply things. They represent us. And so these different comparisons our sages teach us that God didn't need silver or gold, and that God didn't need purple or blue or scarlet yarn. God just needed us. And so if chokhmah is the ability to extract beauty from the natural world, then chokhmat lev is the determination to insert beauty back into the natural world by unleashing the very essence of who we are. And so people with chokhmat lev know what treasures they can offer this world, and they bring forth these gifts willingly, without hesitation. Now, whether those gifts include masterpieces of art and architecture, or elegant writing and literature, moving pieces of music, computer code, athleticism, or simply the ability to listen to another human being with sincerity and humility. All of these gifts are necessary to build a true sanctuary. All of these gifts are necessary to make the world a better place. And so if each of us uses the wisdom of our hearts, if each of us can figure out how to bring ourselves and the unique gifts that we possess willingly and without hesitation, then we too shall find a sanctuary in the wilderness, a place of refuge from all the things that trouble us. And maybe we'll sound just like that. Then, hopefully, shall we be blessed with a true sanctuary where God dwells among us. And so I ask that this be God's will for our community and our people, to build a place where each of our unique gifts can be seen and accepted for what they truly are in this place that we call a sanctuary. Shabbat Shalom.